Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, hello. I'm Gabriella. Welcome to our next episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. Oh my gosh, today I'm bringing to you a lady who has such an incredible background, Tricia Parido. How are you today, Tricia?
I am so amazing and so grateful to be here today.
I am super grateful that you said yes. So, before we started, I was talking to you about your background, and I think you need to share with our audience all about you.
I am a wife. I'm a mother to 5 amazing grown children, a grandma to 5, but I'm also a recovery lifestyle enthusiast who has dedicated and devoted their life for a little over 10 years now to everything process, behavioral, and chemical addiction in nature. That just led me on this amazing journey that now equates to some 15 odd credentials that support my ability to serve people and serve people well.
Not only do you serve people and serve them well, you also guide others to be able to serve people and serve them well. Talk about that for a moment.
You know, the school that I got the majority of my credentials through has invited me as an expert to also train and credential and mentor under their umbrella. And I'm very passionate about the way that they do things because I believe that accreditation is extremely important and credentialing is extremely important, especially when we want to be in the coaching industry. And then in that, I've also, opened up my practice to expand so that we can have more boots on the ground and help more people.
That's incredible. So,
Yeah.
you have a very interesting story that got you to where you are today. Tell us about that.
I was born a perfectionist, a people pleasing codependent, a control freak. Literally, I was born reading, writing, doing arithmetic, playing chess by the age of 4, playing classical piano by 5.5, and competitively swimming before the age of 7. And by the time I hit the 6th grade, I had already completed 10th grade work, things like that. But also in that, as my life started to unfold at the age of 4, where I also started to experience what the big bad world was going to be all about and why I was born a perfectionist, control freak with people pleasing needs, because the traumas started happening at that same time. So between the ages of 4 and 24, there were a handful of sexual assaults. A few of them you could technically deem as rape, domestic violence, emotional abuse, emotional neglect, a lot of trauma. And then myself, I had just a really big battle with my own physical body. And so I had a lot of near-death experiences myself. Through that, I learned in my control mechanisms, my control needs, and my perfectionism, how to, well, what I thought was, effective coping was, to learn how to numb out and rely on other things, which just really led me into anorexia. It really exacerbated my body dysmorphia, which at the time I didn't understand that that's what I was going to be faced with for the rest of my life and have to learn how to live with. I gravitated to alcohol at a young age. I can even remember asking to go to the big church for communion on communion Sundays because at the first of every month, we were served real wine and not grape juice. And I'm talking at like 6 years old. But I really started utilizing alcohol as a way to lean in through social observation at age 12 when my father was killed in a tragic accident while we were on summer vacation. So that's when I leaned into, through observation, alcohol and cigarettes. But I also learned how to control the emotions and how to stuff and shove and seek acceptance and approval from other people and all the things that you can imagine through that time. Now, of course, there was a lot of good stuff sprinkled in there. I became a mother, I had a great career, and I was very successful, which again comes from that control freak, right? Like I learned really how to be really good on the outside. And so when I was 20, I just turned 27 when I met my spouse, and I had already been in a recovery journey. I started my recovery journey around age 19. I can say I've been sober, 100% sober from chemical substances for 10 years, But my recovery journey has been much longer than that because everything wasn't ready to recover at the same time. So my journey is very fluid, but it was when I met him that I learned what unconditional positive regard was and how to allow that in. But I didn't learn how to live for myself first without feeling guilty, selfish, punished, or restricted until 10 years ago.
Interesting. Let's talk about your influence and inspiration, because you were telling me, and when you were describing it, I was like, oh, I kind of remember studying a little bit about that.
Whenever somebody asks me to pick, the one thing, right? Like I always go to Julian Rotter's Locus of Control theory, because I talk a lot about our reliance on things, people, places, things outside of us to bring us peace, joy, comfort, relief, value, validity, worthiness, whatever it is. So, that locus of control theory that happens on a continuum between the external and the internal, right? So when I learned that, then I just spent so much time again pulling in the social, right? A lot of observation, just really realizing like how much I had given inappropriate emotional purpose to a lot of things in my life that were outside of me. And so it is woven into all things that I teach, train, mentor, coach, whatever you want to call it, guide.
I think a lot of us have a tendency to do that. And so having someone like yourself that can help us understand that more clearly and guide us through getting to that understanding is really important.
Just a tidbit, right? So just think about your relationship with even your routine. Your habits hold you hostage, even the healthy ones. If you are married to getting up every morning and hitting the gym at 6 a.m. for whatever spin class floats your boat, that is a hostage holding habit, because what happens when that can't happen? What happens when for some reason or another, you can't get to your coveted class? I'm irritated, agitated, annoyed, frustrated, bothered, out of sorts, can't focus, can't think, can't this, can't that because of this one class. Now, utilizing exercise as a healthy coping mechanism is okay. It just can't be a need, because what if, right? It's the same as I need a drink. I need a cigarette. I need to go for a run. I need to this, I need to that. You have to remove the need. It doesn't mean you don't go do that run when you're feeling distressed. It just don't have it be a need. We need to take ownership, right? Be internally driven and have the emotional intelligence, that wherewithal, the awareness, but also the intuition to know what we truly need in that space. And then go work out because I'm irritated, agitated, annoyed, or whatever, right? Hopefully that gives you just a little idea of the spectrum of people that I really try to reach and serve.
One of the things that you're touching on is the fact that there's a lot of things that fall into addiction or are related to addiction that we think is normal everyday things, and we don't realize is actually in the family of addiction.
I love that you just said that. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them.
It's time to take a vacation from processed foods. The ultimate lifestyle transformation kit will upgrade the way you look, feel, and perform, or will give you your money back, guaranteed. By taking a vacation from processed foods, you will detoxify your organs, cleanse your cells, and remove chemicals from your gut. And once you begin to nourish your cells and balance your hormones, you may notice increased energy, lower stress, deeper sleep, heightened mental clarity, improved digestion, and sexy lean muscle. Any of that sound interesting to you? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You already eat every day, and what you eat really matters. This is your chance to upgrade your food, upgrade your health, and upgrade your life.
Introducing Boost by GoV, a high-end, first-in-class fuel catalyst tablet that is taking the world by storm. How would you like to save money on gas and go further on every single tank? The new MPG is here. Get more miles per gallon, boost power and performance, and reduce emissions and exhaust. What would you say if you could pay less and make fewer trips to the gas pump? It's time to wake up and get on the move. What are you waiting for? Get more out of life and join the GoV experience today. Scan the QR code or check the show notes for more information.
So this is a really great segue into asking you to share what advice would you give to a young person who's just starting out, or to go back to your younger self, if you could say, do this.
Don't try to change things from happening. Learn how to sit in and move through all things uncomfortable, because we don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face our challenges. So all of those hurtful, painful, uncomfortable, annoying things are filled with lessons. Yeah. They are filled with an opportunity to flourish, to grow, to improve. It's all, they have a purpose. They are actually a gift that is being given to you as an opportunity. Don't numb it out. Don't avoid it. Don't shove it down. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't run from it. Sit in it. There are a gazillion people out there like myself that are happy to sit with you while you're moving through it to help you so you don't feel alone. It's not like back when I was a kid, when you didn't even mutter the word counseling or therapy, right? Like, no, honey, you're going to get dressed. You're going to put on your good face. And when that front door opens, you better have your best foot out, right?
Right.
Like you can go cry in your room with the door closed where nobody can see you or hear you. We don't live in that world anymore.
We don't.
It's okay. So learn how to assertively be you, which is an open, honest, genuine, transparent, and authentic way of being.
I totally hear you. So I would like to open up the floor to you sharing whatever your best actionable advice that you would like our audience to take away from this conversation.
Live for yourself first without feeling guilty, selfish, punished, or restricted. So in other words, go out and cultivate, nurture, condition the emotional intelligence you don't know you don't have yet that you need to improve your life. We think that emotional intelligence is an innate skill, and it's not. So you want to find somebody that can guide you also. Some things are not meant to be self-help. This is my specialty, right? But you need somebody who can teach you, guide you, train you the practical application of the psychological skill sets and tactics that are going to create the emotional intelligence you need for your life improvement or your insightful transformation. And it's unique to each person. So you want to find somebody, if it's not me, if I don't speak your language, please find somebody else, but find somebody who can take you on that journey, that knows what they're talking about.
I totally agree with you. I think that we have this idea in our head that we need to do things alone. And I know that we have an epidemic in this country of loneliness, and having somebody to guide us, or having the saying when we were kids, it takes a village. It takes a village for our mental and emotional health just as much as everything else.
It absolutely does.
So before we wrap up, is there any additional advice or guidance that you would like to share with our audience?
I think the last piece that I would say that would be palatable for people to understand based on our conversation is to be open and willing to self-observe, to see where you could use a little more distress tolerance, a little more emotion regulation, but truly to get out of what I refer to as the stance of a judger and into the stance of a learner. And that's a whole nother topic. Like, we'd have to do a whole nother show on that one, but be open and willing to see where it's you, because you need to do it for you, right? Don't look at other people. Again, that locus of control. Somebody else doesn't make you angry. It's a choice. So look at, where do I need to be creating more distress tolerance and emotion regulation?
That's amazing. I literally was having a conversation with somebody last week that mirrors what you were just describing. So I think that's a really timely and important piece of advice that everyone can take away with them. On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, world. This is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer and I am also a consultant from Z World Webs. Today, I want to highlight the Unity Foundation. The Unity Foundation is a nonprofit organization with a 46-year history of promoting peace, cooperation, and of course, unity throughout the world. For the past 22 years, the Unity Foundation's main focus has been using their media platforms to help humanitarians working for peace, make this world a better place, and promote the United Nations since 1984. To learn more about the Unity Foundation, please visit their website at www.unityfoundation.world. The link can be found in the show notes. So with that being said, my name is Z from Z World Webs, and let's develop a website Z World is waiting for.
So if I wanted to have a further conversation with you, which of course I do, and I think everybody should, where do we find you?
Just go to www.turningleaves, Leaves, recovery.com.
Awesome. And the link for that will be down below in the show notes and in the description. And are you available on social media? Do you have a podcast or YouTube channel that we can find you?
All of those things. And quite honestly, you can link to those all from the website.
Fantastic. And we'll make sure those links are in the notes so that you guys can click on it, learn more, see what Tricia has to offer and how you can benefit from her amazing knowledge. Speaking of benefiting, what is your awesome offer for our audience today?
I am, for GabTalks listeners, going to give an additional $200 off, and already 65% less as far as cost program. And the program is amazing. It is step 1, live for yourself first, rapid results series. So it's in 50% of the time of my signature program, and it's every single lesson. It is every single bit of coaching. It is everything that I teach when it comes to the practical application of the psychological skill sets and tactics to cultivate the emotional intelligence you need in your journey in a short 45-day cycle so that we can get you on the right path. Of course, you'll have to do the conditioning, but it is an amazing, actually highly sought after. Everybody is eating it up right now because it is at that super low price point already. And for you guys, you're going to get an additional 200 off, which is more than another 10%, so that we can engage in some, let's get this done, right?
That's incredible. And I know that it's going to be super valuable for every single person that takes advantage of it. So you guys make sure that you click the link below, use the link in the show notes and in the description so that you get that extra discount. Make sure you click subscribe so that you know when our next episode is coming. Don't forget to hit the reminders bell. We will talk to you again soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.